Yeah. I want to welcome y'all to the ArthurJ84 podcast. Let's get it. Just sit back and let it breathe. We coming with more heat. You only get one shot. You shady or maybe not. You capping, we laughing. We on a mission. Now listen, we making statements and stating some of opinions and some of fact. So sit back and just relax. All the bull don't get no slack. We bringing it back to back with a swag and a class act. It's levels to this, and the truth will show who your friends are. That hate you won't get far. So be great. Let's debate. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm Arthur J.
And I'm Taurus Adele.
We back with another episode. Man, we want to thank y'all for coming to the ArthurJ84 podcast. Stop blaming people for your issues for not meeting your expectations. A lot of people got issues, man.
Yeah.
Issues, man. And I want to tie you right into it because we had some major points on people and I want you to elaborate before I really start diving into it. I want you to elaborate more on what's been on your heart as far as in this world of people, with this topic, how heavy this is and the how meaningful it is.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people have issues with people they see, and they see the potential and expectations, but sometimes you can't get mad at a person for not meeting your expectation of what you think they should be in life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I feel like people, if you're up here, you got to give people chances to get up there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On that level, you have to meet them where they're at, though. Sometimes, it's cool to have push behind people, but you can't be mad at a person for not meeting your expectations. You know what I'm saying? And that just and especially if you're talking about relationship, your expectations of what you want out of the relationship should be the first thing y'all have conversation with. You know what I'm saying? One of the first things, what you want, what you expect, etc., etc., etc. Now that give that person a chance, an opportunity to say, well, I know I could meet that expectation. I know I could do that. I know I could do that. But when we get with people, we tend to sometimes change up, and then sometimes we have a measure of what a woman should be or a man should be that ain't never gonna meet the expectation you have for them, and then there comes the problems. Or say when some things are happening inside, say with your kids, they're not meeting the expectation or what you have for them, or you think they should be, but you take that out on your man or your spouse or your woman, and that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? So stop getting mad at people for not meeting your expectations, especially if you ain't made it clear in the beginning what those expectations are.
Man, I got a question. Do you think that because people set their expectations so high that keep them stuck where they are? Or in other words, do you think that keep them stuck in their ways?
Sometimes yes, but again, it's okay. I feel like it's okay for people to have high expectation. That's what you want in life. That's you're setting what's your wants and your needs, but don't get mad if you single or by yourself for nobody ever being able to meet those expectations. I ain't saying lower your standards. That's what it comes with, what your standards are, what you're required to go on, like say a relationship, so yeah. It's just like, again, like kind of like what you bring to the table situation, but sometimes you just got to make it clear and get people opportunity. When you hit people from the blind side, or dang, where this imaginary expectation come from, that's when it's a problem. Now you all mad, and this person over there don't have a clue what's going on, but you mad at that person because they're not meeting your expectation.
Yeah, I be around guys sometimes, and they be fed up. They be like, man, they'll be like, man, I'm trying this, trying to date and everything like that. And some of these expectations that these women have, man, it's great. Like they say, they'll see some women that have on they profile, or whether they doing a dating app or whatever, and it'll be saying, what they say? They say it'd be like, if you don't have a passport, don't come my way. I want to, I'm gonna always throw a curveball somewhere. If y'all think it's finna just this whole episode finna be all smooth the way we start off, no, I do it like I used to write songs, man. I start off smooth, and then boom, you be like, oh, I ain't see them bars coming. Oh, I ain't see that coming. No, you gotta wait for the punchline. It's coming. That's the punchline. So, I want to tell you right back in this, man. When people it's a difference between having, morals and having expectations of that you're just not going to settle for no crap, like to be treated in any kind of way. It's a difference. But people have a misunderstanding of morals and you just being ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm going to let that breathe for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. You got to know the difference. Like, you're going to end up being by yourself with a cat, because I know some females that by themselves with a cat, but we'll deal with that later. And nobody is going to want to deal with your kind of expectations, because it's your imaginary expectation that it don't exist. Yeah. It's never going to happen for what you think you deserve or whatever. Because it's like, again, if you don't know the difference between what being respected is, then you're going to always just have expectations that's never going to be met.
Because you're going to keep having different expectations. Yeah. That's just like this. If you're in a relationship, what that comes off with, a person with so many expectations of what a person should be, what or how they should be or where they should be, sometimes it's not met. And then what tends to happen is that a person start feeling like, dang, it's nothing I do is right. Because everything you do is always something else. It's always something else. If you get in arguments and spat because a person ain't doing this, doing that, when it's not clear, it's gonna make that person feel like, man, dang, I can't do nothing right in this relationship. So why are we even together? You know what I'm saying? Just having so many different expectations. So it's like they say with us, and it's kind of off. Whereas every time we get to the finish line, and you move the goalposts. You know what I'm saying? Same way as expectation. Come on, start having all these ridiculous expectations. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, we reached that. Now I met that. Now it's something else. Man. Like, listen.
Yeah.
How much more do I have to prove to just say, hey, I love you, you love me. I got your back no matter what. We rocking. We gonna have spats, but that's normal. We'll get through them. But it's like you have an expectation, like a man telling a woman what a woman should be. That's unreasonable expectation. I'm not a woman. I can't tell you how a woman should act.
Let's talk about it.
Or a woman telling a man, oh, if you're a real man, you're not a man. You don't know. You can never tell me how a man should be when you're not one. Yeah. Period. You know what I'm saying?
I got an old saying that I would never know what it's like to carry a child. I would never know what it's like to birth a child. But you sure don't know what it's like to be a man.
Yeah, exactly.
I stand on that. I don't care what any woman say. I don't know what it's like to go through their monthly cycle. I don't know what it's like. I can just only imagine the frustration and my hat go off to as mothers. Yeah. My hat go off to as just a woman, period. As wife, girlfriend, just women, period. My hat go off to them. But it's so often that because there's standard or expectations that so much failure that a lot of women have had in they past, to I feel like a lot of that is the reason why they feel like they have to raise the bar, and they deserve to raise the bar because of the hurt that they've been through. So now a guy that come in that didn't put you through any of that hurt that you've been through, he got to live up to the expectations that the man wasn't even living up to. The expectation that was a lot lower.
Exactly. And then
let's talk about it.
And then to go even further with it, it's like, okay, say for just the women that say, oh, well, my dad, he's this type of guy. He do this, and do that. Half of the time, most of these guys, y'all be having expectation to meet what your dad doing. Your dad probably wasn't a great dude either. But that's the person you like, oh, I want you telling me what a man should be. Your own dad wasn't that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just being honest.
That's real. And a lot of times too, bro, women will be real quick to say, ain't your mama.
You hear me?
So why would you even fix your mouth to say, or to try to make me live up to the expectation of a father? You got to understand those are different dynamics.
Exactly.
You shouldn't ever compare as far as what your father does in your life.
Because
Or
at the end of the day, that's your dad. That's unconditional. You know what I'm
That-
saying? That you feel a man and
gonna
a
always be a
husband,
different love.
even though not to get biblical, the Bible says when you're married, you leave your mother, your father, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, in the fleshly, what we think, there's no way I'm gonna ever be closer than probably to you. I'm your husband. There's no way I'm gonna probably be closer than you are with your parents.
Right.
You know, it's a different level of unconditional love. So to even try to make it seem like a man supposed to live up to what your father is, that man, you know what I'm saying, he'll drop that ball every time.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's
and with the mothers and stuff, like I don't put no woman in a position to live up to the standards of my mother.
Exactly.
You know, I'm so petty. That wouldn't even be fair.
It's unmatched. And it's
That
two
wouldn't
different
even
levels of love.
That wouldn't even be fair.
You know what
I'm
I'm
telling
saying?
you. Because it's like I lived with my mother.
Yeah.
I know her from up and down on the woman that she could have been and the woman that she ended up being, and she's always been.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that sit for the two people that didn't catch that. So it wouldn't do no justice in having you live up to her expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to just be honest.
Yeah.
I want you to just be real on who you are as a person. Then I can decide if I want to deal with you or not, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You want me to be truthful. You want me to be honest on what it is and who I am as a person, so you can decide if you want to put up with me or not. Hopefully it work out where we both can grow together and grow with each other. But at least we know, and it won't be no surprises. It won't be no, like you said, you get hit with a curveball of, well, I ain't see this expectation coming. Where that came from or where that came from. You know, and I think a lot of times, I'm going to tell you right back in it, because this is so good, man. It's going way in a direction that I thought it was going to go in. But a lot of times, people really be selfish, man, with their expectations. They be selfish. Like you just want what you want. And in life, especially in couples, you know, I'm sitting the outside looking in, and I'm like, man, I got to really work on myself, because what I'm seeing, I don't want to be like what I be seeing in this world of couples and marriage, where I'm looked at as being selfish, because I don't want to be with no woman that's selfish.
Yeah.
I want a woman that's going to be able to compromise. I want to be a woman that's going to be able to have an understanding of us together and being considerate of each other and working it out however we need to work it out together. And it's always difficult to do, but I want to tell you,
and that's what I feel like relationships are, honestly. I think I forgot what comedian said it, but he was right on with it. He said, when you're in a relationship, you're in a service business. I'm in to serve you, make you better, or help you grow, or you're in it to help me grow. You know what I'm saying? We're serving each other. But when you start using a woman should be this or a man should be that, no, that's when you drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Any man, you don't have to ask a man to provide or try to ask a man to pay a bill. Well, if that man really rocking with you, it's unwritten that he's gonna help you out or help us out together anyway. So you don't have to be so boastful in the beginning, like, oh, a man got to have such and such and such and pay such and such and such. Then what am I? No man don't want to hear that.
Let that
you know
breathe.
what I'm saying? Or just like a man coming to you like, I just want to hit, you know, or whatever. You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. The expectation, just long as you're open up, don't hit somebody. Like I said, from the blind side, then it's all good. But
that's worse, man.
It's like some men, some female be looking at other people's relationships, not knowing the ins and outs of their relationship, but they see what they put out there in social media and be like, oh, look at that dude, he's taking this woman on extravagant wherever. But at the same time, that ain't for everybody. You don't know, that woman could be getting battered at home or whatever. Y'all seen the movie Temptation. Everything ain't green on the other side. So stop. This man might have all the money in the world but treat you like crap. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Now you got somebody love you unconditionally, but his finances ain't all the way what they should be, but he ain't no drop shot or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But you're looking at somebody else's situation trying to match their expectation of what you see in fairy tale movies, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors, you know? So,
right. And I'm thinking, you know, working towards having an understanding what should be and what shouldn't be. And I'm going to elaborate more on what I mean by that. You know, we're talking about expectations. Sometimes you can want things, but you really don't need it to be like that. And sometimes you can not want things, but it need to be like that.
Yeah.
Now, see, a lot of people may be like, even though you broke it down, what you mean by that? It's just like how it sounds, what I just said. You know, everything is not going to go your way.
Yep.
Everything shouldn't go your way.
And
that's with woman and man. But that's the challenge that we take when we hook up with somebody, when we get in a relationship, when we get married. That's the challenge that we take. And I'm, like I said, again, I'm on the outside looking in. The reason why I say I'm on the outside looking in because I'm single. But that's the challenge through it all is that, hey, I have to have consideration and understanding of what your needs are or what you want or what your expectation may be, and you have to have an understanding vice versa to me. And when people fail to do that, it always becomes one-sided, and that becomes a huge problem.
And that's the understanding, your needs and your wants.
Yeah.
It's a difference. Your needs and your want.
Yeah.
I can't give you everything you want.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I'm giving you and still working to give you everything that you want, but I'm giving you the things that you need, it's a big plus. But just because just because a person can't go out and say, oh, let me buy this $10,000 bag purse for you. Mm-hmm. That's a want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I bet you this mortgage paid or these lights or your car note, whatever is paid, that's a need. You know what I'm saying? That's a necessity.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But y'all, if some people just want it all, they just want the line, like they even settle. Like we said in the one of our previous episodes, it wasn't worth it. They'll even settle. If you could ball somebody out and they never have to work a day in your life, but you treat them like, excuse my language, they'll settle for that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They want that expectation. That's where we have a problem at.
That's true, man. So, it's something that, man, it's just hard to identify at times because you can, like I said, I try to be understanding. Like me being a man, I try to be understanding. We talk about it. You know, you're a woman. You don't know how it feels to be a man, and man, we don't know how it feels to be a woman. So I try to be understanding as much as I can. And with that being said, you know, when you want this. You saying your expectations for a man to da-da-da, this and that. You know, it's certain things that it could hinder the relationship for him to be what you think he need to be. Now, I know a lot of people may be like, huh? But I'm like, you never really think about that because who are you to feel like it need to be like that because you want it? And I mean that from a woman to a man.
Yeah.
Who are you to feel like they need to be like that? Sometimes you need to go back to the drawing board of the basics of love, the basis of a relationship, the basics.
Like a person tell you, I just want what's best for you. If a person is in sign Mike and mine, a person know what they want the best for themselves too, don't you think? You know what I'm saying? But your best not be what I feel like is best for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man.
And I know a lot of people don't want me to say this, but it's so important in the beginning. Like, yes, you're not going to know everything, but when the person really, like, you have to, if you really, because a lot of times people will leave stuff out of their, like, when it comes down to expectations when they first meet a person. Because when you first meet a person, of course, you want it to be, you want to be, ooh, and ah. You ain't trying to run nobody off. I don't care how secure you think you are about yourself. You ain't trying to run nobody off. So, you're going to be all as nice as you can and sweet.
Man, this book look good.
As you can, as sexy as you can. But when years go by and we live together and we married or whatever the case may be, now all these expectations or these ways coming out, these ways that I ain't see that you had coming out. And that goes for both sides. So it's like you have to be real to the fullest from the beginning, whether that person say, this ain't for me or not, because you giving them a choice. Give them a chance to be able to be like, nah, this ain't for me. No surprises.
And it's like this, like the book looked good, but once you start getting into it and reading it, now you're gonna find out this story ain't as smooth as this cover made look. You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with that. But my thing is, don't make your problem my problem. Whereas when I say
get into it,
you have a expectation of what you feel, a silent expectation. I'm gonna say that what you feel that I should be meeting. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, don't get mad at me for not being able to meet that expectation. Tell me this what you expect, and I can say, man, you know what? I can't. You know, maybe you're gonna have to find Joe Blow because I can't meet that. And it's hard to hear. It's hard for a person to say, "Oh, you just don't want to fight for a relationship." I will fight for a relationship, but realistically, I'll never be that. You have to meet me where I'm at. This is where I'm at, and I'm trying to get into another lane. I'm trying to reach a different status. Say it's a financial expectation. Say I'm trying to get to the 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? But I'm where I'm at right now. I can't change. Hey, right now, this is what it is. This is who I am. So if that's a problem, if you have a problem with that, then maybe I'm not the guy for you. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. Yeah. Maybe you're not the guy for that person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And don't be mad when I say, well, I guess I think we should just go our separate ways because I'm never gonna meet those expectations. And don't make it seem like, oh, I don't care about you. No, it's just real being real. You know what I'm saying? So don't make your expectations my problem, the problem you have. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. A thought just came to my head. I want to dive into fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it. And what I mean by that is, let's say, you have two individuals that hook up. And you have, if not both, one or the other, faking it like they live up to this expectations that they're trying to get you to live up to. And you find out along the way as you read the book, like you said, that Joker, you ain't even living up to the expectations. Yeah. You see that all the time. You're not even qualified.
Man, we see that
for
all
what
the
you're trying to tell me to live up to.
Say a person you actually know. And it can be whatever. And they put on Facebook or put on for the gram like, oh, it's like the Bow Wow challenge. I'm on this private jet, but I know you in real life, and I know, bro, you ain't on no private jet. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. You know what I'm saying? So the people that's, definitely for the ones that want to say, oh, you got this expectation. Don't forget that person who you dealing with know you, and now he know you ain't living like that, but you have this expectation of you ain't never lived like that, but you want me to come through and change it. If I could, I would. But sometimes, like I say, being honest up front. Hey, if you're a person that, like you said, passport, or, man, maybe that person don't got a passport. Let me exit. This ain't going to work right now. I'm working towards getting my passport. You never know what that brother's past is. Now, he might have a criminal past that he can't leave the country or something. You never know. Man. But,
and I can go, and I had touched on that, and I got off of it because it's so much I was trying to cover in this, but I can go on and on about expectations that you want people to live up to, and that could be the thing that block you from your blessing. Yeah. Let that breathe.
If you care about that person genuinely, meet that person where they are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Meet them where they are, and if it's worth it, if it's truly worth it, they will do the damnedest thing to try to make life better. Yeah. They might not never meet exactly where you want them to be, but long as they're trying to make y'all making each other better, meet that person where they are. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to say if a person is screwed, they'll screw. They'll screw. This ain't gonna work. They'll leech you. They'll da. Really? But I'm not telling you to put up with those kind of guys. But if you meet somebody where they are, y'all build together if it's genuine. But just keep in mind that person might not never, and you might not never meet their expectation, but they more silent about it, like they ain't tripping because they doing a numbers game. The good outweighing the bad, or what you could consider being bad. You know what I'm saying? So
right. And man, I would say even in another way of a person faking it until they make it. Let's see, a woman meet a guy, and he faking it like he meet that expectation, and let's say her expectation is not bizarre. Let's say in this situation, the expectation, she was saying like, "Hey man, be loyal to me. Don't lie to me and all that stuff." No, that's understandable. That should be easily met. And this guy, he fake it like I'm the guy, I'm real and all that stuff, and then he turned right around and be the total opposite on what he said he was.
That's what we call those brothers lame.
Exactly.
That's you got to know the difference. Those brothers, them lame brothers, who's gonna fake it to get what they want out you because they moochers or whatever they drive is for doing stuff.
Yeah, and don't settle, women. Don't settle for if a man don't meet, because I know we've been coming at you so strong about these crazy expectations, but these expectations that you deserve, and you just got to really look inside yourself and reevaluate yourself to know the expectations that should be met. But if a man is not meeting those expectations, let him go.
Simple as that.
Don't sit there and settle because you done got invested, or you feel like you don't want to be alone, because now you lowering your standards for somebody who's not meeting some real understanding expectations. Notice I use the word understanding because, again, expectations that some women and some men have, it's ridiculous.
And stop basing, to me, and this is just my opinion, what a good man is off of financial stability. Because you can have a lawyer.
We ain't got that much time, man.
You can have a doctor.
Woo.
But your marriage or whatever it may be is horrible. So, you know what I'm saying? Be grounded on solid foundation of what you want your expectation. You want your good man, a person that's respectable, because when you come together, a reflection of him is a reflection of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's more simple. We just make this relationship stuff harder because we add in materialistic stuff that don't even really mean nothing. Once we go, we don't take it with us. You know what I'm saying? But
and that's so real quick before we wrap it up, man, because it's so real that you said that, because a lot of times in this day and time, we're in 2023, expectations and what people want is based on material things, money. And don't get me wrong, we all want money. We got it. Lights got to be on. Bills got to be paid. So I'll be, ignorant to tell people that is money don't plays a part in your relationship. It does. But when you make that the main base, because the reason I'm gonna elaborate real quick more on that, when you a person that's doing something for yourself and you focus, and you got a sorry joker that ain't even caring about
and trying,
to have goals or do something for herself, and you just taking care of a person that don't care. That's just common sense. Use common sense, women. Use common sense, men. Know the difference between expectations that are realistic and expectations because you being selfish. So it's one of those things, man, that we have to go back to the drawing board, like I said, and fill ourselves with knowledge of knowing what expectations we need to meet up to within ourselves before we ask for somebody else to do it. I want y'all to really think about what I just said, because nobody don't never really think about it.
Go and stuff, but it's like this, man. You can't, men and women, stop looking for somebody to bail you out of life. You know what I'm saying? Have your stuff together if that's what you want. What's wrong with having your stuff together and still meeting somebody who has their stuff together? Stop looking for a person, and I'm gonna say man, to come bail you out of where your life is. And if you by yourself, will your life change? You got to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing to make your life better? You just looking for the knight in shining armor. I get that. But you can't, what are you doing for yourself? If you never meet your knight in shining armor, you still have to live a certain way. So the expectation, are you willing to go get them yourself?
That's real. That's real.
So,
that's something that we all got to think about, man. I'm going to close like this, man. We oftentimes, man, just, focus so much on expectations and person having this and the person need to have that. And I understand you want to be upfront on what and let people know what you want, whether you putting it on your title on your page or whatever, whether when you meet a person, you go on a date and you telling them these things. There's so many times I've seen captions of people saying, you need to have this, you need to have that. We just forget about just be honest.
That's it.
Be honest.
That's the biggest.
Then that person can determine if they want to deal with you or not.
It's just be prepared for people to be like, nah, I don't want to deal with this.
Exactly.
I want nothing but the best for you.
Exactly.
But it ain't in my, this ain't for me.
I want you to like, subscribe, comment. Please do, y'all. Share. Let everybody know if you on your social media. Share. Because I'm telling you, we still working to get things set up where we can bring a guest on. We can't wait.
What we need.
We can't wait to do that. It's coming. It's coming. Yep. Y'all be patient. We're gonna bring a female guest. It's gonna be our first guest. We're gonna bring a female guest, and we're gonna really turn up then. But I'm Arthur J.
And I'm Taurus Adele.
And like we always say, till next time.
Peace.